represent Tobiabo Federal Constituency. I'm an Ikwere man from River State. Mr. Speaker, my point of order is a constitutional point of order. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, particularly sections 80 and 81 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, the said sections has to do with issues of finances and expenditure, and then the power and control over public funds in the state called the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, with your leave, I beg to read these said sections, which are very succinct and clear. Section 80, particularly subsection 2, reads, no monies, emphasis on no, shall, again, emphasis on shall, be withdrawn from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation except to meet expenditure that is charged upon the fund by this Constitution, or where the issue of those monies has been authorized by the Appropriation Act, Supplementary Appropriation Act, or an act passed in pursuance of Section 81 of this Constitution. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, subsection 3 reads, no monies, emphasis again on no, shall, again emphasis on shall, be withdrawn from any public fund of the Federation other than the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation, unless the issue of those monies has been authorized, has been, not shall be, has been authorized by an act of the National Assembly. 4, no monies shall be withdrawn from the Consolidated Revenue Fund or any other public fund of the Federation except in the manner prescribed by the National Assembly. Mr. Speaker, from this section of our law, there is no language of anticipatory approval. That is not the language of our law. There is nowhere in our law that we have issues that border on anticipatory approval. That is the letter you have just read, Mr. Speaker. The letter you have just read to us talks about anticipatory approval. It is a correspondence, yes, but my dear colleagues, if you remember, just Tuesday last week, this issue came up, and we referred it to the House Committee on Ethics. But today, the function we ask that committee to perform is to look at this expenditure, whether it was actually incurred or otherwise. Today, we have been told, admittedly, in black and white, that the expenditure has been incurred, even without the approval of the legislature. It is in black and white by Mr. President and signed, communicated to the National Assembly. I don't think that we have any cause to continue to sit down and allow things like this to take place. What is our function as members of National Assembly? First, we have powers over the purse. And clearly by the letter read by Mr. Speaker, that power is completely removed from these hallowed chambers. We cannot, let me ask a question. You are talking about anticipatory approval. Is this National Assembly a rubber stamp? No. Must we approve whatever comes from the executive arm? Now, if we fail to approve, what happens? Accepting without conceding, there is anything like anticipatory approval. Where the approval does not come, expenditure has already been incurred. What happens? We are supposed to be watchdog over property of Nigerian people, including the fund of this country. But today, it is as if the watchdog can only bark but cannot bite. Not only that we cannot bite, we appear to be asleep. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, this is a clear evidence of what has been happening in the system in the past. This is only a singular case. It's only a singular case. And it is again another wake-up call on us A constitutional infraction as serious as expenditure without the National Assembly clearly runs foul of this Constitution and is an impeachable offense. And let me also say that there is no misconduct that is more serious than this kind of infraction. No excuse whatsoever, no matter how beautiful that excuse is, can allow this fly in any country whatsoever where you have a democracy. It is only where you have an autocracy that this kind of situation can fly. If we're talking about security issues, for 3 years now, there is no day in this country that people are not killed. It is not this one that will solve our entire problem. My dear colleagues, I think I have to call on this House. Let us not continue to sleep and allow things continue to go this way. We represent a people. We have a function. The legislature is supposed to be the watchdog. Please wake up from this slumber. I propose that we commence impeachment of Mr. President based on this very serious constitutional infraction that Mr. Speaker has read to us this morning. That is my position, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman, Rules and Business.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.